Hi everyone, welcome to another Dillon Town Council update. I'm Kevin Burns, Mayor of Dillon, and with me is our illustrious Matt Miano, our events manager.
That's me.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on this one.
Hey.
We usually see at the other Dillon programming.
Absolutely. I've been trying to duck out as much as possible, but Mr. Breslin was busy today, so I was lucky enough to step in. So let's get to it, shall we?
Yeah.
You told me to read this.
So
Work session, Town Hall Council Chambers. All right, we'll skip to it. We talked about the economic development. Carrie McCool was in town to kind of fill us in on all the committees and what they've been up to. So.
Yeah, so for all of our regular North Shore fans, they've been watching this programming and know that we have been having a consultant come in on a monthly basis, give us updates on various committees that we've developed to help stimulate economic development in our downtown area. This month we were lucky enough to have someone from our events committee come in and give us an update on what they're up to, and it's a pretty cool program. And you actually probably know a fair amount about this, Matt, but we have tons of events in town, obviously, and
couple.
Yeah, that says as soon as the snow melts, your summer gets pretty busy. We're always looking for ways to figure out what are the most effective events that we're doing. What are what's working best for the town? What's bringing in people to stay in our hotels? What events draw people to go out to restaurants afterwards? And our events committee's taken on the task of making that a sort of a more systematic process. I know some of our fellow communities do that. I think that's something that we were talking about that you seem pretty intrigued by. So it's kind of cool that we have a volunteer committee that's going to sort of take that first step in figuring out how to get this all done and just take a little bit more strategic approach to some of our event planning.
It's good to have the help, that's for sure. And it's good to know, like you said, I mean, what events do draw folks in and what that return on investment is, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have some great volunteers that are working on that, and that was what the bulk of what we talked about for that particular item. What was up next?
Next was the town center plan. I believe that was pitched by Mr. Dan Burrows, the town engineer.
Yeah, so this is another exciting, this is really the first step in what's going to be a pretty exciting long-term discussion for the town council. One of our great staff members, Dan Burrows, has put together a bunch of plans for as we start seeing redevelopment in the town of Dillon, what's kind of the structural work that's going to really need to be done to start getting to start doing development or redevelopment in our town. Is probably no surprise to folks who go around Dillon. Over the years, some of this town's been developed in a little bit of a hodgepodge. So just some of our basic infrastructure is kind of all over the place. And as you hopefully break ground on that new hotel in the next couple of years, or some new retail development, it's going to take some thoughtful consideration to make sure that that our infrastructure is kind of keeping pace with what we're trying to do.
Right. So, right on. So that was kind of the bulk of that.
Yeah, and that's
like
the first.
You said, that's going to first step, and it's going to be going on. For
we just got the
next
first
few
overview
months
on some of the things we have to consider.
And Dan kind of said he's going to take each parcel and kind of educate you guys, and I'm certainly intrigued by it. So he'll educate me as well, and we'll see what the future holds.
Yeah, absolutely.
The next topic, which says 5:30, we didn't get to it until about 7:30, if memory serves. But we chatted a little bit about the marijuana regulation.
Yeah. So this was a discussion that was brought up by some council members, and I think one of the things that we're not even to the end of February. We've had legal retail sales of marijuana in the town since January 1. And I think one of the things that we've found, at least to my sort of pleasant surprise, is we've had some great success with stores who are interested in coming in, and we have this whole new sector of the economy that's coming into the town of Dillon. One of the things that I think we're looking at now is letting sort of the existing businesses who are going to come and run their business for a little while before we make decisions on, is this a town that can support more stores? Are we at the right number? Do we need to look at retooling some of our regs? I think it's a pretty common process we've seen with a lot of towns where you have an initial influx, and then a lot of our neighbors seem to have sort of let the process play out for a little while and see how things go. And I think that's something that the town of Dillon is interested in. We have, as I said, we've had some cool new businesses coming into our town, and I think there's an interesting discussion. We had a lot of different opinions, but I think that the majority opinion right now is we want to kind of see how things are going to play out for the next year or so.
And I agree. I mean, it will be interesting. Obviously, Dillon didn't have the medicinal, and we kind of took our time and waited and kind of saw how things played out. And I think the first retail shop actually opened last weekend, if memory serves, and it will be interesting.
Yeah.
I attended the CAS meeting. I know you were there a couple of weeks ago that we hosted actually in Dillon, and there was a marijuana panel, and it was interesting to listen to the different towns and kind of who's coming to these stores and how it's working out. So we'll see what the future holds for Dillon for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Next on the agenda, Bob Evans from our marina chatted about the upcoming air show. The event, I think it's in its third year now, and just kind of filled you guys in on what he's going to do and what he's got lined out.
Yeah, so for folks who attended last year, we had a great success with an air show to kind of kick off the summer season. There was a lot of folks were down there on the shore that day and checking out the show. We gave Bob and you, Matt, and our staff direction to kind of blow out that show a little bit more, and maybe add some vendors, sync it up with some of the music at the amphitheater a little bit, do a lot of that cool stuff, extend the show out a little more. And Bob was just giving us an update on how that's all going. He kind of showed us what would happen if you just did the same thing last year, and what's sort of the more blown out version that we kind of asked for, and we're going ahead with the full program, and I think we're going to have a really exciting kind of kickoff to the summer.
I could not agree more. I'm going to say June 13th. I hope that's correct. It is it's that Saturday, and I'm pretty confident it's June 13th, and that will kind of kick off the summer. The following week we'll have our Lake Dillon Brew Fest hosted by the Dillon Business Association. So that'll be the big kickoff with the air show. So come on down.
Yeah, it's wild to think that with snow still on the ground, we're already starting to think about barbecues.
Is there snow on the ground? I really hope it snows some. All right, so next, Bill Falcone, the president of the DBA, actually came in on behalf of the Baseball Academy, Summit Extreme, who handles our concessions on Friday nights at the amphitheater as a fundraiser. But he kind of came in just to fill us in as to what's going on with the Summit Extreme Baseball.
And that was another agenda item that was sort of brought to the attention from council. Summit Extreme, as you mentioned, has been a pretty integral part of Dillon for a while. They serve the concessions. Anybody who's bought a hot dog at one of our shows has helped contribute to that organization. And there was a general consensus of most of us been to the batting cages or talked to Bill or somebody else in the organization, but just it'd be really great to sort of see an overview of the organization, how it's structured, the basic ins and outs of Summit Extreme Baseball, especially since they're in kind of an exciting time right now where they're looking to either extend their lease on their batting cages or possibly buy some space. And obviously that's something that could be pretty exciting for the town of Dillon. And we just we needed that sort of basic background information as they're moving forward and as we kind of understand what their process is going to look like.
And they're definitely expanding. I mean, he was talking about the local, well, not local colleges, but some surrounding areas, and how they're going to be running a league through Dillon with some of the neighboring towns and stuff. He mentioned that possibly, right now the batting cages are not open to the public, but it sounds like potentially you and I could be doing a council update and maybe hit a few balls.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
So
would it be?
I'll have to bring out my Red Sox hat for that one.
I'm not a very good baseball player, but we'll stick you in the batting cage.
I must have played until I was like 10 or 11. I'm sure it's like one of those things that it's a skill that never deteriorates.
You're a pro. All right, we also chatted about some potential redevelopment here in Town Hall. There's some advancement for storage, stuff of that nature.
Yeah, so this probably won't come as a surprise to folks who are watching, but since we are a government, there's a lot of rules around the kind of documents we need to keep, and there's sort of procedures around that.
So I shouldn't have shredded all that stuff earlier today? Oh, wait. No. Just kidding.
So there's, and we're just basically, our town hall's basically out of space. We just have boxes and boxes of stuff that we're legally mandated to keep.
Absolutely. I think it's 7 years for a lot of the stuff, and storage runs thin.
Yeah, and we are working on digitizing documents and trying to get, trying to clear out space that way. But the reality is that we're just bursting to the seam. So So council was presented with a plan to increase some storage space, to upgrade some of our audio-visual equipment here in the council chambers, and I think it's going to look really sharp for upcoming sessions. Hopefully it'll give staff a little bit of a break as they have to get down boxes and stuff from our attic.
Definitely, and I think that the hot tub out back should be a really cool.
Yeah,
addition.
that's definitely the best feature. It's going to be a really great way to cast votes as on
Absolutely.
on
No,
ordinances.
I couldn't agree more. Again, right now we've got attic space. It's hard to get in there. It's hard to, when you do need to get into the past files and stuff. So hopefully it'll just make it easier for us to do our jobs, really.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So then I think the rest of that was just our standard town council and staff updates and all that good stuff. And then what did we do on the regular agenda? I know we had our standard.
You're asking me. You were the one in charge.
Yeah, that's.
You
we did our
called the meeting to order.
We can
was
probably
the
skip
first
through that
thing.
stuff.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
No, let's
We
see.
did our
we
standard
have
consent agenda
We did,
items,
yeah. And
and
then there
then-
was one. The water tank ordinance, I think, was kind of sworn in or voted on.
Yeah, we voted on
I should say.
an emergency ordinance for the water tank, and that was really so. Again, I like to try to sing our praises of our staff as much as possible. They got a great deal on our water tank that we've talked about both in this program and in our Dillon dialogue, and it's came in for less than we were anticipating, but of course we had to move pretty quickly to make that deal happen. So I had to pass an emergency ordinance instead of doing the normal 2 readings in order to get that project funded. But it got approved. It's off and running, and we're going to be that's a really great piece of the town's infrastructure that we're
Yeah,
going to be taking
we're
care of for a long
replacing
time.
a water tank that's, I want to say, 20 plus years old, and increasing the water storage to, I want to say, 1.5 million gallons, something of that nature.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, again, just kind of moving to the future and kind of positioning ourselves to help that potential infrastructure change and growth.
Yeah.
So,
As we're doing that downtown development, nobody's
yeah.
going to get thirsty.
no, nor should they. And they can always, they can't go for a dip in the reservoir, but they can go for a stand-up paddle, I
Absolutely.
guess.
And then I think the only other thing that we really had on the agenda last night was we had a Dillon Business Association update, and that was they basically just reported on how their 2014 went. It sounds like it was a great year.
Yeah.
They
Up from 2013
Yeah, up from
with their
2013
events, and kind of outline what's going to be going on in the future. We've kind of reworked the partnership a little bit, and again, it's a great partnership that we have. Just kind of restructured it a little bit, and looking forward to this summer, and hopefully it'll be a great year.
Yeah, they're doing some website redevelopment. I think they're that's going to be kind of a cool thing, and just every once in a while you need those sort of refreshers on how you get how you get folks educated about what's available here in the town of Dillon, and it's nice to see the DBA pursuing that particular goal.
Absolutely, yeah. DillonDBA.org is the website, and they've talked about working with their partners, their members, and offering different coupons and deals and stuff. So definitely check that website out. The new website isn't quite live, but hopefully in the next month or so they're going to kind of ramp that up and be available as another resource for you folks in town here.
And so where can folks find out more information about us, either to look at some of these packets or check out our events and what have you?
You could go to townofdillon.com. You could go to facebook.com/Dillon, Colorado. Instagram, Dillon, Colorado. Twitter, Dillon, Colorado. We are in the hub of social media. So, as things get booked, they'll be added to townofdillon.com. As of right now, we're still kind of hammering out the concerts, but we do have some fun things hopefully in the works, and we'll keep you posted.
And we always welcome folks to stop by here at Town Hall and say hi or ask questions or complain about whatever they need to.
Yeah, kburns@townofdillon.com will get you his email. Complaints directed to him.
Yeah, exactly. Those all get forwarded to me. So thanks for the time, everyone. Hope to see you on the North Shore.
Guys, thanks a bunch. See you next time.